Hey guys, how's it going? Shez back again and welcome to episode number 12 of the Chelsea career mode here on FIFA 15. We've got a game away from home against Stoke in the snow to start things off. Here's your team news.
Stoke City have made one change. Jack Butland starts in goal. Eric Peters starts with Jeff Cameron in the full-back positions. Steve Sidwell comes in for Stephen Umzonzi, who's not played well lately. In attack, Biram Diouf starts. He was man of the match last time. Wholesale changes for Chelsea. Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. John Terry plays with Gary Cahill in central defence. Andre Schürrle starts with Mohamed Salah in the wide positions. In attack, Didier Drogba starts. He's been in tremendous form recently.
So out of nowhere, the GFX has started to work again for the Barclays Premier League, so I guess that can only be seen as a good thing. So you've got your full team news back again at the start of each Barclays Premier League game. But Stoke City are on the front foot actually in this first half, and I found it particularly difficult in these opening stages in the snow to get the grip of of how the players felt and played, etc. It was the first career mode episode, or first career mode game I've ever played on the snow on FIFA 15, so it really took me by surprise, and I was quite average to say the least for the first half. As we pushed into the second, there was only those two efforts on goal from either side the entirety of the first half. And Biram Diouf gets the ball into Glenn Whelan here across to Stephen Ireland, and it weirdly deflects, so he gets tackled, and then the ball bounces off Ricardo Rodriguez's shins and falls straight to Jonathan Walters, who's quite comfortably able to tuck it into the back of the net. You'll see from the replay, JT, I think it is, comes across, gets the tackle in, it just comes off Rodriguez. Goalkeeper nor defender reacts quickly enough, and Stoke take a 1-0 lead. And then literally from that moment on, for the next 40 minutes, it was quite obvious that the manager had gone, park the bus, and Stoke were trying their best to hold out for a 1-0 win, but I was going to do my damnedest to try and get back in the game. I do not want to lose 1-0 away from home against Stoke in the snow, so I was trying my best to just throw bodies forward. I switched to ultra attacking, not necessarily all out attack just yet, because they've got some pacey players they can catch me on the counter attack with, so I don't want all of my defenders pushing forward, especially when I lack pace at the back with JT, etc. If I get caught JT against Biram Diouf one-on-one, then he'll do to me what he did to Man City in real life and just score on the breakaway. But Loic Remy's playing the ball into Cesc Fabregas here. He's got Ramirez with his second effort in just a couple of minutes to try and get ourselves back on level terms, but again cuts across the ball, and unfortunately it goes wide off a deflection of Steve Sidwell. But Loic Remy came on for Didier Drogba and was linking up here with Cesc Fabregas, draws another good save out of Jack Butland, who was making save after save after save, and they were just getting the ball away as soon as they possibly could. They didn't care where it went so long as it was away from the goal. But we get a corner here, it comes in, and Andre Schürrle gets caught there by the secondary man as it comes away from that corner. Unfortunately, he went down and landed rather awkwardly on his elbow. He's got a bruised elbow. Fortunately, he's not going to be out for any longer than 8 days or so, but it will see him miss the next Barclays Premier League game, because of course we're around Christmas now and there are games every 3 or 4 days, so it's a tight fixture list, and as you can see we've had a lot of shots and more possession, so we're trying to get ourselves back in this game. But you can see there falls awkwardly on top of his shoulder, underneath, or on top of his elbow rather, underneath his body, and no wonder that was painful for him. But Eden Hazard gets the ball into feet here, shows good pace to get away, and then tries to set up William Carvalho here. Decent shot, but it gets blocked and deflected away for a corner. And unfortunately, that was going to be the end of the game. We lose 1-0 away from home against Stoke City in the snow. It was a very stereotypical Stoke away trip, and unfortunately, we've fallen foul to it, and we lose 1-0. So I was trying to bounce back, because the next game is just as big. It's Tottenham at home at Stamford Bridge on Boxing Day, I think this game was. It may have been the week just before Christmas, but as you can see, it's first versus second, so that gave it even more importance. And to start off with, here was your team news.
Two changes for Chelsea today. Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. Aymeric Laporte plays with Gary Cahill in central defence. Eden Hazard starts, looking to continue his great form in midfield. Diego Costa is the lone striker today. This is today's Tottenham Hotspur team. Brad Friedel plays in goal. Ben Davies starts with Kyle Walker in the full-back positions. Christian Eriksen starts, a midfielder in good form. Roberto Soldado is the main striker today.
Now clearly Tottenham are in fantastic form. They sit top of the table and 1 point ahead of us with a game in hand. So we really were, I was expecting, after being in poor form against Stoke, to struggle here. We got through early on with Ramirez though. Unfortunately, after a good move, his his feet just weren't quite quick enough to get the ball out of them and into enough space to have the shot, but we were still on the attack, starting really very much so on the front foot here. Willian firing the shot on goal, and they've got Brad Friedel in goal. For some reason, Hugo Lloris wasn't able to start in this one, so we're throwing bodies forward, trying to take advantage of the fact that they've got a rookie, or not rookie, but a rotation goalkeeper in the sticks. And unfortunately, Gary Cahill came very close there with the ball rebounding back off the bar, and then Felipe Luis didn't really go anywhere near as close as that shot flew over the top of the bar. But Cahill, so unlucky there with the header that comes back. Friedel got absolutely nowhere near it. Callens back off the bar, and we stay at 0-0. But we were still on the front foot, catching them on the counter-attack again here, breaking away with Eden Hazard, up to Diego Costa, of course back in the starting lineup consistently now after returning from injury, and Willian points to him, tells him exactly where he wants the ball to be played, and he gets on the end of it, but again, Brad Friedel gets down well to make a decent save, gets it clear away as well. No chance of a rebound goal there. Unfortunately, we stay at 0-0 again. Into first half stoppage time. Thought I'd got this initial free kick clear there as we flicked it on towards the back post, and every time there was a Tottenham man on it, I just threw bodies forward. For some reason, Oscar fell over there after tackling Aaron Lennon, which was rather annoying, but every time a Tottenham man receives the ball to feet, I threw bodies in front of him. As you can see me just throwing myself in front of all the players, but then Courtois comes out with that really weird animation for a save, just bats it away straight to the feet of Roberto Soldado, who obliges to the ball being pushed straight towards him and puts it into the back of the net. So in the very, very late stages of the first half, Tottenham take a 1-0 lead. Then Aaron Lennon breaks the offside trap, and a goal either side of half-time means that out of nowhere, after being completely dominant for the opening 43 minutes of the game, after 49, we're 2-0 down, which was rather concerning, to be completely honest. And they were going to have another chance here. Paulinho into Chadley. You can see Tottenham really controlling possession now in these opening stages to the second half, playing it forward to Moussa Dembele. Gets it to Soldado, and then Courtois again with that really weird technique, just batting it away. So odd. You don't really see that too much from the top goalkeepers. Jack Butland did it a bit in the snow against Stoke in the previous game, but that's Jack Butland. This is Thibaut Courtois, and it really shouldn't be doing things like that, but made a couple of changes to try and freshen things up. Oscar and Willian leaving the fray, and Lurk Remy coming on with another attacker as well to try and open them up. They brought on Mario Gomez for Roberto Soldado, so they've still got a big strong striker up top. 20 minutes to go here. Christian Eriksen's going to play the ball through to Paulinho, and that shot squirms its way into the back of the net as well. And I was really, really annoyed at Courtois again here when the shot initially went in, but you can see from this replay it takes a deflection off Cahill. It was heading wide, but the deflection off the defender's arm whips it into that far bottom corner, and we're 3-0 down here. Nemanja Matic gets the ball into the edge of the box. Hazard and Ramirez linking up. I'm trying everything. I'm throwing so many bodies forward. Brad Friedel with a good save again pushes the ball away, but we're still not done. We're just throwing bodies forward as we were at the start of the first half. We just can't find a way past the goalkeeper. Matic with the second shot well blocked. Friedel comes out, it drops free again, but the Tottenham boys get it clear. I cannot do anything more to try and get myself a goal here. Gary Cahill picks the ball up off Christian Eriksen. Again, we're on the counter-attack. Hazard stalls here just to make sure that Costa can get the run on Fazio. Gets away from the defender, shoots a cross goal, but this time hits the woodwork. When we do beat the goalkeeper, there's a goal frame in the way. I just ran out of options here. 5 minutes still to go. We're continuing to throw as many blue shirts forward as I possibly can. Remy back to Hazard, into Nemanja Matic, up to Costa, back to Hazard. A great move, beats the keeper, squirms underneath him, but they clear it off the line. Jan Vertonghen scoops it away, and we lose the game 3-0 at home to Tottenham Hotspur. I was livid after that game. We'd had so many opportunities and it just would not fall for me. I was so annoyed that I'd lost not only that game and the Stoke one before it. So I just stopped recording. I recorded a squad report here so you guys can see how the team's getting on, but I was clearly not, well, I was playing well, I was having chances, it just wouldn't go in, and I was just so furious at the game that I just stopped. So of course, as always with the squad report, if you want to see any particular player's stats in more closer detail, then feel free to pause the video at any point. And one thing as well, let me know in the comment section, when we see him in a minute, Petr Cech, he's up to 88 rated overall now, despite only playing about 5 or 6 games, and he's valued at close to £30 million. So I am, without shadow of doubt, going to sell Petr Cech on in this transfer window, and then maybe bring in another goalkeeper, or maybe even just rely on Mike Schwartz, who is still 76 rated despite being 42. So that will generate some income that we can perhaps add some real quality to the team in this upcoming January transfer window, which is only a couple of episodes away now. We should get into it after tomorrow's episode, and then Friday's episode will be the first one in the January transfer window. So start to leave me some suggestions for players to buy. I'm not really looking for any defenders. It's more an attacking midfielder in the middle and a winger, and maybe we'll start to scout some strikers to perhaps bring them in the summer when Didier Drogba will probably leave us in the end of this first season, because of course his stats are starting to drop now that he's 36 years old. But you just saw Petr Cech on screen there. £29.5 million is his value, considering he's 32, 33 years old. I'm just going to capitalise on that. He's clearly glitched and just flies up in rating. A lot of you have said that you've been having the same sort of thing in your career modes, so we're going to do what a lot of you have done as well, and just get rid of him. Unfortunately, it's not really something I want to do, but the fact that the game is kind of glitched a little bit, and the fact that he's valued at so much, is kind of forcing my hand. And you can't really turn down an opportunity like that to get that sort of money into the club to add to the transfer coffers. So of course that will go hand in hand, if we can sell him on, with the £10 million boost we got for progressing through the Champions League group stage. So we do have quite a bit of money to spend, and of course you have to bear in mind at the end of this season we'll get players like Marco van Ginkel, Lucas Piazon, and Christian Atsu back, who will be featured in the first team next year, although of course Victor Moses, Marco Marin, maybe even Fernando Torres, probably Fernando Torres, will be moved on a permanent basis when we end this season and head into the second. But as you can see, that win for Spurs has pushed them 4 points above us with a game in hand, so they're really flying at the top of the table this season. City have a game in hand on the four teams above them, and then will go a point above us should they win that game in hand, and it will either be against Spurs, Everton, Swansea or Hull, as you can see there, and there are a couple of teams further down I think that have a game in hand also, but of course there will be easier opposition for City. Hopefully it will be against Spurs and they'll draw so that both of them drop points. But that's going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, feel free to leave the video a like if you enjoyed, and later on tonight we'll have episode 2 of the Atletico Madrid career mode series. The first episode went up on Monday evening, so check the channel page for that if you missed it. Of course, there was previous episodes of this series throughout the week, as well as a My Player last night as well, so check the channel page for any of those videos that you may have missed over the past few days. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already. We're closing in on 25,000 as I record this. If we could hit that before the weekend, that would be absolutely superb. And of course, I will see you next time.